eggs on it. Not entirely sure. I'm really scrambling for today's lunch because I'm running so behind. This isn't the brand that they recommend, but it's basically the same. This is a really sweet dressing, not my normal jam, but the ingredients are super clean. It's just like a bunch of vinegar, lemon juice, onion, random other binders. Not bad, actually. I don't hate it. Beef broth, and I'm probably just gonna crack some eggs on that and get my fill of my veggies, and then I'll probably eat an apple once I get to work. I will say, even though I'm up a little bit over the last 2 days, I still feel leaner overall from when I started. So that's definitely something to take into account. When I'm showing you the food, because I look tragic and you would immediately just click away. But the other thing that I've been doing is, like, on my drive into work, I drink yerba mate tea. There's a lot of speculation online that yerba mate is like nature's Zempi. I hate when people do stuff like that and they say outrageous claims. I don't think that's true. But I am willing to try to see if it, like, makes me less hungry, which I do find it does. But also, like, any tea would, like, fill you up, you know what I mean? So I don't know. But I was just about to make it and I realized I hadn't really talked to you about this yet. This is just, I just bought this on Amazon. This isn't like anything special. But I put a little like flavoring in it, like a sugar-free flavoring, to make it taste a little better, because otherwise it tastes like weeds. But what tea doesn't, you know? You know what I mean?
One day later.
Okay, I thought of something last minute because I wasn't really in the mood for any other protein I had. And I was gonna make just eggs. And then I thought, okay, I have egg white protein and some very low fat, very low carb vegan protein that I usually use to make pancakes with. And back in the day, I used to make crepes all the time with my egg white protein from 1UP that sadly they discontinued. I only use 1UP. Oh, that reminds me, I need to buy more of that because I just almost ran out. I'll put a link down below for a discount code. I believe it's 20% off. But I was like thinking, okay, if I could have egg whites, why couldn't I have egg white protein? And I know like protein powder is kind of like on this plan, but in theory, macro-wise, I feel like it should be fine. And if sugar-free sweeteners are also okay, then wouldn't sugar-free pancake syrup also be okay? This is my thought process. So usually what I do with these is I like fold it into like a little crepe, you know, I'll just like fold it over itself. I have this nice square pan, so I like let it rip. But that sounded really good to me. So I was like, that I'm more in the mood for. I just had a bunch of cucumbers that I put this, this is the stuff I was talking to you about, the sugar-free chilito. It's so good. It's super clean. It's just chili mix, citric acid, hibiscus powder, monk fruit, and then some other things that make sure that it doesn't cake up. And I put that and that same company makes the sugar-free chamoy on some cucumbers. And that was like a really nice snack for my veggies. I'd say that was probably only 1 cup of veggies. I'm probably due for 2 more. But with this, I'm not really sure if any veggies would go with that. So maybe I'll snack on some peppers or something on the way into work. Not entirely sure. I'm gonna just down some green beans and call it a day and force it. But yeah, I'm really excited. I hope this turns out. And in a way, I wanted to replicate my results from this morning, because yesterday I did things old school, classic protein, 1 apple and berries, and I'm down another pound today, back to an all-time low for this whole experiment. So I kind of didn't want to experiment with something a little bit different here, but you know, sometimes you gotta just follow your heart. My heart wanted these pancakes, man. I'm hoping it's gonna be okay. Yesterday I went to bed really hungry. I do feel like when I eat and don't eat again when I get home, it's harder than it is when I get home and eat, obviously. But down a pound, so I can't complain. At a time. So I just literally like took some berries and mashed them up in some water and put them in the microwave. It's definitely not the right consistency, but I'm gonna take some of those berries that would have been in my second meal dessert and allocated them for this meal so I can still have a full apple when I get to work. But I feel like I slayed this. This is gonna be delish, even if the texture is all wrong.
One day later.
Again. I see little lines forming. I see them. I weighed in exactly the same as yesterday. I think up like 0.2. But the body's bodying, so I'll take it. This is where I work. Magic Mike. I'm not on stage right now, but this is what I get to look at when I eat my food. To remind me that I also want abs, you know? If you're wondering what this is, it's literally tuna, cottage cheese, and red onion with some celery, and that's quite literally all. The cottage cheese is meant to mimic the mayonnaise, and with some mushrooms, it kind of works. All right, I'm trying something new. I did soy sauce, Worcestershire, and some like Asian seasonings with some mushrooms, snap peas, and green beans, and some shrimp. And I got some Brussels sprouts going in the air fryer, so I should be A-okay on the vegetables today. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little annoyed, to be honest, because I keep going up and down the same 1.5 pounds for like a week. So I feel like something's got to give. I don't know if it's, I feel like I'm doing everything the way that I'm supposed to. I feel like there's no way I'm not in a deficit. It's a lot of cooking and I'm eating a lot of the same foods. And it's not like I didn't lose 5.5 pounds or whatever, 5 pounds, which is great, which is cool. But I feel like I could have potentially also done that eating just regular keto really strictly and keeping the same deficit. And at first, I was digging all these meals because it was kind of like putting me out of my comfort zone. I haven't eaten low fat in like 15 years. So at first I was like, cool, berries, other kinds of fruit, peaches, apples, this is awesome. I'm kind of over it now. I'm on day 14 of this. It's 2 weeks in. And like, the pound a day thing isn't working for me. Maybe it's because I don't have that much weight to lose. I don't know. My goal is to lose another 10 pounds. And that would put me at like my lowest. But like where I want to be, I definitely look in the mirror and see a difference. Like that's without a doubt. So I know that the weight is like real weight, but it's a lot of effort, for not just going up and down the same pound all the time. You know what I mean? But we're going to keep doing it. I have a few more days of this until my friend comes on Friday, and then I'm done. So I might keep doing it on the couple of days that he's here because I'm working. And if he doesn't want to go out to eat or anything, then I might just go back to keto after that. But who knows? Who knows? We're going to Disney. I know we're going to eat a bunch of stuff and it's going to put me back up. But I think this is an interesting experiment to show you that you can lose 5 pounds a lot of different ways. You can lose in 2 weeks that amount of weight doing a lot of different stuff. And I know for a fact that if it's not something I would do, but if I was somebody who was taking a GLP-1 shot, it would probably be the same amount of weight loss. And like, this is a way to do that without having to do that, so that you can save money there, save any potential complications or, weird interactions or things that could happen. But this isn't like the quick, amazing thing, at least it hasn't been for me. So, and I haven't cheated, like really at all. I did the one day at Din Tai Fung and I wasn't even up that much from that day. Just oscillating the same pound up and down every day, regardless of adherence. So I feel like that's just being a woman though, isn't it? And I've literally lost no weight. None. I've been up and down the same pound for the entire week. I don't know if you can tell from my voice. I got like a weird sickness where I was just congested. I don't know if it's allergies or what, because I didn't really have like the feeling of being sick other than just the symptom of congestion. So it might be allergies. I don't know if that had something to do with it, but up and down the same pound all week long, and literally being the exact same way I was at the end of my check-in with you last week. And I'm doing everything right. Most of my meals were the same meals that I always do in the week prior. So I feel like, considering that fasting is a pain in the butt, I don't like doing it personally, and something that I suggest to my clients all the time is if at the end of the day you're not that concerned about like giving your gut a break and the other benefits besides weight loss that come from fasting, you can just bank your calories, right? Like if you want to put a little almond milk in your coffee or half and half, whatever you do, and that's all you're gonna have until 2 anyway, but technically you broke your fast. Like if it's about calorie restriction, you're not really, you know what I mean, like saving a bunch of calories by not doing that. It's gonna end up being the same from a calories in, calories out perspective, right? And I feel like I'm cooking so much more than I normally would, which is fine. It has been interesting and I've been enjoying fruit, and I'm not gonna lie, I do feel like I look leaner. I look more lean than 5 pounds lost maybe otherwise. So maybe it's real fat loss. But at the end of the day, putting in a whole week and not getting anywhere is frustrating when you're putting in this much effort. But then again, if I were my own client, I would just say sometimes you have weeks like this and you just got to keep it moving. So I'm not entirely sure what the rest of the week's going to look like. I have so many more groceries with this protocol, so I'll probably finish it out until my friend comes into town, and then depending on what we end up doing, I'll kind of take it from there. But I will say I massively prefer keto. I think that there's a way to go about doing this protocol potentially with a higher carb ratio of keto, where I could still have the fruit, because that's part of it that I've really enjoyed. But apart from the initial week's results, this has been like a really disappointing protocol. And I think that if you want to try it, your leverage might vary. I think that if you wanted to try it, your mileage may vary. If you have a lot more weight to lose, maybe it would be more successful. I have weight to lose. Like, let's not get it twisted. Like, I'm not super itty bitty or anything. I definitely have like 10 pounds to lose more than where I'm at right now. And it doesn't seem to be coming off. I'm going to give it a couple more days, but I don't know if I'll do another video. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But for now, I'm going to give this sort of a middle of the road result. Let me know if there are any other sort of weight loss hack challenges that you want me to try. I love doing these. I think my favorite one is probably an egg fast. I really enjoyed the beef and egg fast as well. That was super successful. I did that for 2 weeks and I enjoyed that a lot. So is hyperketosis the be all and end all? It wasn't for me. Doesn't mean that it won't be for you. But yeah, I don't think it's something that I would necessarily do again. Maybe for like a weekend before an event, maybe. But I think I'd rather do an egg fast personally. All right, y'all. I will see you next time. Please go follow me on Instagram if you are not already. And if you are interested in having me be your coach, check me out. All of my highlights are just hundreds and hundreds of clients' results where you're eating foods that are probably a lot more enjoyable than this protocol. Okay, I let you pick what you eat. It is truly the gift of my life to be able to help people get control of their bodies in a sustainable way, which I don't think this is. All right, y'all. I'll see you next time on my channel. Bye.